Hey guys, thanks for joining me today, and this is the next episode of Catalysts and Curiosities, which is a fortnightly prompt thing that Meg over at Meg Journals releases on a newsletter. It's not a challenge, so I always struggle to kind of say what it is. It's not a challenge, but it's kind of something that you can just use to help inspire your creative spark for that week. Now, this week Meg has gone off-piste a bit, and instead of a theme with elements, snippets and colours, she's taken inspiration from tending to her garden and provided 3 simple exercises for your creative garden for when everything feels chaotic and overgrown. So check out Meg's newsletter that you can subscribe to from her channel to see what all the exercises are. But I chose the one she called Compost Your Scraps. So it's about classically making a masterboard and cutting it up to make whatever out of. And because I use my accordion art journal for Catalysts and Curiosities, I will be cutting, ripping and tearing the masterboard up to make an interesting garden related collage, but of course it is me, so it's going to be a little bit abstract. You may have seen my recent short of my August garden, and there's still so many bright and blooming flowers and plants, but then we're also getting the end of the season, so the browns are coming through, the seed pods are starting to dry out, but there are still buds coming through from things which already flowered earlier this year already. The weather has made things work a bit differently this year to what we're used to, and I love just seeing nature doing what it does, making its own decisions. So I'm utilising all the colours that we've got going on, the reds, the purples, blues, oranges, pinks, browns, greens, and I've made this masterboard from all those colours that I have available from scraps that I have from magazines and bits of random paper. Sorry, I just realised I just described to you what scraps are, and I'm pretty sure you already know what scraps are. But I tried to pick scraps that fit in with those garden type colours that I was looking for, and then ripped it all up and slapdashed it on the page, overlapping and making things look a bit different to what it should look like. And then I'll bring in some paints and white gesso to give it a bit more texture and depth and blending. And because I really liked how my painty page turned out last time for my last episode of Catalysts and Curiosities, and I thought I would try and get that same sort of textural element into play again. Out there in my garden, things grow where they will, sometimes wild, sometimes ordered, often both at once. A bloom will appear where I don't expect it. something dies back to make space for the next thing. And then there's this just constant cycle of change. And this masterboard is the same. All the scraps, the colours, the mess, the tearing, the rearranging. It's everything coming together to make something new. And the paint and gesso is going to soften those edges like the way that nature weaves everything back together over time. It's a reminder that even when things feel a bit chaotic or overgrown, both in the garden and in life, there's a kind of magic in letting it be imperfect, letting it evolve and seeing what grows out of it. My art and my garden, they're both teaching me to trust the process, embrace the layers and find beauty in the unexpected. I've mentioned before that that I find it really hard to do things over pretty backgrounds. So I really like being able to turn these things over and just rip it and tear it without knowing what I'm going through on the other side. And then I'll just put it back together. So it's almost like I'm making a masterboard out of a masterboard. I used yellow paint, green paint and white gesso, and it kind of, you'll see in a minute, it made like a minty looking cover, which was really lovely, and all the swirls without quite mixing in look really pretty. And this page is going to take forever to dry. When I show you the finished product, you'll see. But I really like all the thick paints over the top of the other colours, which have then been pushed to the background. I ended up having a lot of paint left over, so I just covered some packing paper with it, which will make some nice backgrounds for other pieces. And with the leftover scraps, I thought, you know what, I'm going to continue to compost those scraps and all of that kind of packaging paper that I'm working on there, the ones that I didn't end up covering in paint. After this video, I just sat there and I just stuck all the scraps down to it, so then I've got another couple of masterboards that I can use in other things. So please let me know what you think of this page in the comments below, and if you like it, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing too, and don't forget to check out Meg Journals channel and sign up for Catalysts and Curiosities newsletter if you're interested in these prompts. They're fortnightly, so absolutely no mad pressure to get something done, and you can dip in and out whenever you want. Thank you very much to each and every one of you, the ones who've been here a while, the new subscribers, and the ones who are just passing by and paused on YouTube to watch my little messy art piece. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll be back again soon with something else. And in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!